There was a slight error in the end where I could not run this application. Reason was that in my task manager it was not showing. There was some exe file already running, so if I just go to my task bar at the bottom of the Windows screen and just right click and then click task manager, it's going to put out this thing. So if you just look what the name of the file is live lecture1.cpp, so obviously live lecture1 dot exe file was running and it was preventing it to be overwritten. So if I just select this file, and if I mean let me put it in your visible window, if I select this file and then just select end process, it's going to end the process over in there. So now I'm going to run this thing. It says enter your semester number, just write 0, it just puts out 0 because I'm just storing it in A and then I'm outputting that the value of A. I cannot if I want to store and take the input and store it into the enumerated type, I cannot do that. I mean, if I just declare a semester type constant s1 and I want to take that wherever the user has typed in there and I want to store that into s1 or assign it to s1, I cannot do that. It's going to put him an error over here. I cannot do that over here. So instead what I need to do is, so whatever input you want to take from the user, you just take it from the user and store it into some variable, and then compare that value with the constant value, which is false, is behind the scene is 0. So you can just compare it with false, which is behind the scene is 0. User would have type written 0, or let's say if I want to know let's say if the user says any other value else, that means if I'm checking whether the input value is equals to 0 or not. I mean, the value is going input value from the user is going to be assigned to A, and that's going to be compared with the behind the scene value of 0, which is represented by false here. So I mean, if this condition is not true, if A is equal to false, so that means this thing is going to be printed, if this going to be run. Else, if this thing is not true, I mean, the whatever is written, this logical expression is not true, so that means else I'm going to see out your semester is not false. Just write anything if you want to, I mean any message. So let's run this thing and take the input from the user and store it in an integer. Do not store it into an enumerated data type, you cannot do that. So if you just type 0, it says your semester is false. So let's run this thing again and then type any other number. So I say 3, I mean 3 is not even valid, so 3 is not false. Actually it's comparing 3 equals to 0, which is not true. It is false because it's not equal to 3 is not equal to 0. So that means this condition is actually false, so it's going to run this else statement.